I'd like to ask you about two things, two issues: homelessness and housing and foreclosure. Poverty, homelessness, and then housing and foreclosure. So one is just a general question. What is your understanding of what is happening in the homeless community today, right now?
No, it's a problem of epidemic proportions. I've worked closely with Crossroads through the years. When they relocated from downtown into their current location, the old YMCA, that was in the area I represented in the state senate. So I was very familiar with the issue through that experience, and have stayed involved in homelessness issues. So I know it's not a minor issue in our state. I know it's a major issue, and the economic conditions have only exacerbated it.
Do you have, what would your general estimate be of the number of homeless there are in the state right now? Just as a general.
Somewhere between, between 5,000 and 10,000, something like that.
Yeah, it's actually a little over 1,200, so luckily that's pretty good.
Okay.
Unfortunately, though, just in the last month, it went up to 15%. So You're absolutely right. This is a growing issue. More than 1 in 9 Rhode Islanders live in poverty. What specific ideas do you have for reducing poverty in the state, or at the very least, ensuring access to critically important social programs? And how will you ensure a strong safety net in the state with this greater demand?
Well, I think the schools have a lot to say when it comes to this issue, even though it's not the normal path that you would go down to address it. But I think our schools could do a lot more when it comes to being a safe and nurturing place for those who are looking for the stability. So we already have great structure and programs set up. So I would look at that as a resource. We need to help those who are in need. I mean, that's one of the basic tenets of what we're about as a state and as a society. So I'm not someone that's looking to be mean or cruel to those who need help. And unfortunately, over the last 10 years or so, we've seen cut after cut after cut. But so have households made cut after cut after cut to balance their own budgets. So I like to look at the revenue side and say we need to have a stronger business model here and a stronger base of what's going on with our businesses and the revenues and the taxes that are coming in. Then we can look at the social service, human service side and do some things there. But until we do that, you can't get blood from a stone.
So would you say you're more on the side of what's good for business is good for the citizens of Rhode Island, or more toward the side of what's good for citizens is good for business?
I don't think I'd look at it either way. That's a...
It's a philosophical difference,
yeah.
But I understand. Would you support or oppose legislation requiring utility companies to enter into payment agreements with individual ratepayers who have fallen behind in their utility payments?
Yeah, I'm a believer in giving people a chance, but if someone's a constant abuser or a chronic participant in one of these programs, then I don't think the utility company should be forced to have to continue to be having put themselves in a difficult position time and time again.
Well, the current proposal is that for the payment structure would be based on household income, and monthly payments would not be more than a small percentage of the household income, 4 or 5%. There would be a contractual obligation to pay, though. So, and then would prevent utility shutoffs, which is the ultimate goal.
Mm-hmm. I'm all for people being in a safe and warm home. That's good for families. That's good for the future of the state. So.
The low and moderate, housing. The Low and Moderate Income Housing Act of 2004. Do you remember that, by the way? because a lot of people don't.
Refresh my recollection.
Requires cities and towns of Rhode Island to meet a commitment of having at least a 10%.
Okay. Yes.
15 in urban areas as affordable. What would you do as governor to ensure that affordable housing is available in the areas, regardless of the community they live in, and meeting this commitment, which we haven't even come near meeting, obviously. You could probably fold into that if you want, because of course it is the foreclosure crisis and how that might fit into your plans.
Well, I think we have a great resource in Rhode Island, the Rhode Island Housing Corporation, Rhode Island Housing Mortgage, which currently I serve on the board on. And that is a great advocate for getting each city and town to their 10 or 15% rate, which I think most have, you know. And as far as foreclosure prevention or workout, they have a model there that is a great center that assists people who can be helped. I think we have a great resource there. Let's make sure it has the manpower and the firepower to do a good job for Rhode Island.
Thank you.